Hours after Republicans lost control of the House and expanded their majority in the Senate, a defiant President Trump framed the voters' verdict as a tremendous success for himself.
I thought it was a very close to complete victory.
The president mocking 8 defeated members of his own party who refused to embrace him.
Carlos Cubella, Mike Kaufman. Too bad, Mike. Mia Love gave me no love. And she lost. Too bad. Sorry about that, Mia.
Taking a swipe at outgoing Arizona Senator Jeff Flake, too.
I retired him. I'm very proud of it. I did the country a great service.
In a combative 87-minute news conference, the president appeared willing to reset his relationship with Democrats, first praising Nancy Pelosi.
It really could be a beautiful bipartisan type of situation. We have a lot of things in common on infrastructure. We want to do something on health care. They want to do something on health care. There are a lot of great things that we can do together.
But later threatening to retaliate if Democrats use their subpoena power to launch investigations into his administration.
If they do that, then it's just all it is a warlike posture. I could see it being extremely good politically because I think I'm better at that game than they are, actually.
President Trump brushing off his 11th-hour campaign promises, including a vow to end birthright citizenship, and rebuffing questions about his responsibility fueling a divisive, racially charged political environment, stoking fears of illegal immigration. But when specifically pressed by NBC's Kristen Welker about his role as a moral leader,
I think I am a great moral leader, and I love our country.
The president at times angry, sparring with journalists.
You please sit down.
Including a black reporter asking whether he's emboldened white nationalists.
People are also
I don't know why you'd say
that
that. That's such a racist
there
question.
are some people that
And clashing with a TV correspondent who kept pressing him as he tried to move on.
You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his
Well, I'm
butt
not a
like the
big
rest
fan
of
of
us.
yours either.
You said Democrats would unleash a wave of violent crime that endangers families everywhere. Why are you
Because
pitting
they're very weak on
Americans?
crime.
Why are
Excuse
you
me.
pitting Americans
Peter.
against one another, sir?
Peter, what are you trying to be him?
No, I'm
Peter,
just asking the question.
Let me just tell you, because they're very weak on crime.
The question is, why are you pitting Americans against one another, sir?
I'm not.
Is that
The president's biggest takeaway from the midterms, in his own words, that people like him, despite exit polls that showed 54% of voters disapprove of his performance as president.
NBC's Peter Alexander there. Well, for more on that heated press conference, I'm joined now in the studio by Alistair Sanford. Good morning, Alistair.
Good morning, Belle.
Just explain to us how this all unfolded.
Well, I think to get an accurate account of it, people are going to have to make up their own mind. I advise people to go online. The video's available on the Euronews website, also with our partners NBC. Basically, Jim Acosta of CNN had taken Donald Trump to task at the news conference, asking 2 questions about the migrant caravan and the campaign video, and got into a bit of an argument about whether the caravan was an invasion or not. This controversial incident, let's take a look, it happened when Acosta tried to ask a 3rd question about the Russia investigation.
That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much better.
if I may
Okay,
ask
that's
one other
enough.
question. Mr. President, if I may, I
That's
was going
enough.
to ask one of the other folks.
That's
had,
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse
President,
me, that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question,
let's
if
go.
I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming down?
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Now, at that point, Acosta did have the microphone taken away, and we then had the row that we saw in the previous reports involving Trump and Acosta, and also NBC's correspondent, Trump accusing the media in the room generally of being hostile to him. Jim Acosta then had his White House credentials removed, and he tweeted this, saying, "I've just been denied entrance to the White House. Secret Service just informed me I can't enter the White House grounds for my 8 p.m. hit." Now, he also then tweeted a video showing him being refused entry. Meanwhile, the White House had been giving its account. The press secretary, Sarah Sanders, also took to Twitter to defend the decision to revoke the pass and Trump's relations with the media, saying President Trump believes in a free press and expects and welcomes tough questions of him and his administration. "We will, however, never tolerate a reporter placing his hands on a young woman just trying to do her job as a White House intern." Now, that is what has really got people in the media's backs up, to which CNN and Jim Acosta gave a staunch defense. This is what he says about that. This is a lie, and CNN repeated that accusation in a follow-up tweet. White House spokesperson Sarah Sanders lied in an explanation of the decision to revoke the pass. She provided fraudulent accusations and cited an incident that never happened. This unprecedented decision is a threat to our democracy, and the country deserves better. Jim Acosta has our full support. Sanders, incidentally, also tweeted a zoomed-in video of the incident. Again, you'll have to watch it to make up your own mind. But it did happen when the staff member tried to grab the microphone, and White House correspondents sometimes say that staff are often pretty aggressive towards them in news conferences.
I mean, we should perhaps be used to this sort of behaviour from the president, but it does seem extraordinary. What are the wider implications of all of this?
Well, it obviously looks set to entrench the political divisions that are already pretty stark in the US. Trump, of course, repeated the accusations that the Russia investigation is a hoax and that CNN, etc., are fake news. For his critics, that's simply not true. He just doesn't, he acts like that when he has coverage that he doesn't like, and also with difficult questions. Now, Trump supporters will probably believe him, and all this could play to his advantage, because if the news over the coming months is all about investigations and subpoenas and rows with the media, the danger for Democrats perhaps is that will turn off the public and play into a narrative that the liberal elites are in their own bubble in Washington. They're out to get the president. They're not dealing with real issues, whether that be the economy or health or migration or social issues. At the same time, of course, the Democrats do want to hold Donald Trump to account. There are serious allegations of misconduct, and the Mueller investigation is in full flow. It's all about defending the separation of powers and checks on the executive, and some say that US democracy is at stake.